All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome once again to the Enhanced Sports Show. It's Saturday, the day before Easter, and of course, also Passover is just wrapping up. And it's a very murky day here in the New York, New Jersey area. Actually, coming to you from we're coming from Atlantic City this week. Number is 512-543-4662. Once again, 512-543-4662. Don't forget, you check out other shows. Rasal McGee coming with his fine show at 6 o'clock, and Kevin Dixon, his show from 7 to 9 Monday nights. And don't forget to like and share this Facebook page. And don't forget, we're also on YouTube. Go to YouTube and type in theenhancedsportsshow.com, and you'll hear the show in its entirety. All right, Mike is here. I think someone else will be along in a little while. I'm sure Diane will be along soon, I think. So right now we're down to playoff time and in the NHL and the NBA. So first we'll keep up on some other developments here before we go to the playoff itself. Because first up, the Miami Heat made history last night as the Miami Heat became the first number 10 seed to reach the NBA playoffs after winning in their play-in game tournament last night against the Atlanta Hawks. With that, the Heat clinched the number 8 spot in the Eastern Conference and had the unfortunate mishap of playing against the Cavaliers in the first round. So naturally, I think it's going to be a disaster. Tyler Hero, led the Heat with 30 points, including 2 3-pointers in overtime. Davidson Mitchell scored 3 3-pointers for Miami. Also in the overtime, finished with 16 points on the night. Miami finished the regular season at 8 games below 500, which is almost impossible to get into the postseason with that kind of numbers, but still found his way into the playoffs after 2 road wins in the play-in tournament. On Wednesday, the Heat dumped the Bulls in the 9-10 game to keep their season alive. Since the play-in tournament began back in 2000, 3 teams seeded ninth have won, but Miami becomes the first 10 seed to make the playoffs. Kind of interesting, Mike, when you think, because no one was. I didn't think that Miami had a chance to get it, but that's kind of a low seed. So they pulled off a surprise and maybe be a sleeper team, don't you think? Well, they've got them ranked seed now, but they had to come in at the 10th seed to get there. Yeah, so but I don't know. Going up against Cleveland, which has been dominant all year, I don't know. It doesn't seem much like of a competitive matchup right now. In fact, well, right now the Clippers are playing the Nuggets right now at that point, so that's just underway. And from what we saw today, which was supposed to be a more interesting matchup, today it was not a very interesting matchup as the Pacers took on the Bucks, and it wasn't even close as the Pacers beat the Bucks 117-98. I was expecting better than that. So far, my predictions have not gone as well as I hoped. I guess you could say that. Well, take a look at that. Yeah, because 4 or 5 matchups and 3-6 matchups, they can go either way. To be honest. Okay. Oh, and there's a good match here. The Nuggets, who did not win the in-season tournament in December, but they did get a chance to score a home court advantage in the first round of the playoffs. Denver won the extra game scheduled between the two teams after both were eliminated, meaning the Nuggets finished the regular season 2-2, and the Clippers rather than 1-2. Both teams finished with the regular season record of 50 and 32. The Nuggets earned the fourth seed by something or other. Oh, as the end with a better conference record. The Nuggets and Clippers are playing as we speak. The Clippers enter the postseason having won 8 of their last 8 and 18 of the last 21 to enter the playoffs as the fifth seed. The Nuggets were 20-17 when they lost to the Clippers on January 8th in their final meeting of the season between the teams, but they went on to finish 32-15, mostly due to the return of Kawhi Leonard. The two-time Finals MVP missed 34 games with a right knee injury, still managed 21.5 points in 37 games. His presence has taken the first Harden, who lead the Clippers in scoring at 21, I think it was 21.5, and 8.7 assists. The Nuggets locked up the fourth seed despite the chaos over the past week with the firing of head coach Michael Malone and general manager Calvin Booth with 3 games left in the season. David Edelman took over as head coach and he guided the Nuggets to a 3-game winning streak after losing the previous 4. The Nuggets have the talent to overtake the Clippers with MVP hopeful Nikola Jokic, aka the Joker, who has averaged 29.6 points, 12.7 rebounds, and 10.2 assists, and became the first center and third player overall to average a triple-double for the season, and the first player to rank in the top 3 in those areas. A key figure for the Nuggets is to advance is the health and high production of the rest of his starters. Jamal Murray, who was second scoring at 21.4 points, missed 6 games with a right hamstring, but returned for the final 2 games of the season. Still with me, Mike? Good, good. That might be the only one here today. Everybody else is leaving. All right, so go on to other. Yeah, going on to other ones. Okay, as we mentioned, the Heat are number 10. So let's see what else we got here. Hang on. I don't know if anybody more NBA. Okay, yeah. Damian Lillard and the has been cleared of all blood clots. Has been taken off medication. That according to ESPN. Lillard has been out since March 18th. In just 3 weeks' time, the clot was cleared. What doctors are calling a remarkable recovery. Doctors told officials in the recovery there has never been this quick, and it serves as a testament to early detection and the work the specialist Lillard before the formal diagnosis. Lillard had been ruled out for 1 game against the Pacers, which begins this Saturday, which is beginning right now, but is expected to return to the floor after a ramp up in basketball activities this week. Lillard has averaged 24.9 points, 7.1 assists, and 4.7 rebounds per game and shot 44.7% from the floor. I don't know if it's going to serve an advantage, would you say, Mike? But I think that is good news for the Bucks to have Lillard back, even though the result wasn't as what we had hoped for. I mean, it was good to have him back, but it's still. I mean, because the Bucks just looked awful today. I mean, it's only game one, but still, the fact that you lost by that much, it doesn't say much. That doesn't say much for this series right now. So let's run down the schedule here. Okay, right now, Cavaliers versus the Heat. Games are as follows. Tomorrow at 7, these are all getting against Miami. Tomorrow at 7, game 2 is April 23rd. April 23rd. Game 3, April 26th. Game 4, April 28th. The rest of 5 through 7 are if necessary, which would be April 30th, May 2nd, and May 4th, as we all call May the 4th be with you. Oh boy. Okay. All right. So, Mike, who do you got in this series and how many games? No, we do one series at a time versus Cavaliers in Miami. One series at a time, Mike. 5. You're going to give actually Miami one game. Wow. Okay. Do I hit the sound my significant other? Okay. Who do you have in this series, Di? How many games? I'm with you. I'm a sweep with that one. All right. So we'll move on to the next series then. Remember, one series at a time. Yeah, yeah. I don't know if anybody's gonna come on or not. So move on to the next. Steve's gone. All right, next series. All right, this is another. This should sound like an easy series here. The Celtics versus the Magic. So let's run that down. Tomorrow, game one. Tomorrow's game one. Game 2 is April 23rd. Game 3, April 25th. Game 4, April 27th. Those are away. Game 5, 6, and 7 are necessary. That'll be April 29th, May 1st, and May 3rd. All right, Mike, I'll start with you. What do you got in this series? Whoa, upset here. Yeah, I like your way of thinking. Upset City. All right. Uh, how about you, Di? How many games? I'm gonna say the Celtics in 5. I'll give Orlando one game at home. And Diane's already here, so that message is obsolete. Okay, right. Should I call in after work today? Yeah, sure. All right. Now the series. Now the series that Mike has been looking forward to, and myself, the Knicks versus the Pistons. Okay. To my apologies to my partner in Detroit. I'm sorry. Okay. So here we go. First game was tonight at 6. Game 2 is on Monday night. Game 3 is the 24th, which is Thursday. Then April 27th. Next 3 if necessary, April 29th, May 1st, and May 3rd. This does not look an easy matchup here. I mean, because 3 and 16s can go either way a lot, especially when you have a team like Detroit, which has had just become remarkable this year in their season after spending the last 2 years in the basement and did absolutely nothing. And to turn around their misfortune like this and become very competitive. I don't think this is an easy series, guys. This could be a tough series. Unlike last year against Philadelphia, which this year did nothing. So I'm thinking this will work a little carefully. Mike, who do you got in this series? Okay, that sounds legit, Diane. Okay, how many games? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go with six myself, the Knicks. But this is not gonna be easy. I did hear a ding. No, maybe not. No. All right. So yeah, this is gonna be a tough series. I wouldn't be surprised how it goes either way, but uh I'm still looking at 6 games. Could be. Next series we have. All right. Yeah. Okay. Next series. All right. This should have been a more closer series. Well, this game, Pacers and the Bucks. The Pacers just all over them, even with Lillard making a comeback, and the Greek Freak, of course, did nothing. So this is a little bit off to a surprising start, I think, by most people. So game one, which is now ended, game two is on Tuesday. Game five is on a week from now. Game four, April 27th. Next three, if necessary, the 29th, May 2nd, and May 4th. Hmm. This does look like the most intriguing matchup in the Eastern Conference. This game can go either way. With Lillard's injury, though, I think it's going to take him a little bit of time to come back. I think the Pacers are going to have this one, but I do see this going as a 7-game series. Even though the spread today, the Pacers looked a lot stronger. But I'm going to go 7 with the Pacers. Mike, all right, and how about you, Diane? Yeah, it should be 7 games. Uh huh. Huh? Pacers. I expected a lot closer. And was that the last series? No. Now we got the West. Okay, this one should be a breeze. Thunder against the Grizzlies. 1 through 8, the Grizzlies got in. Oh boy, but Thunder's been too strong in the West. So let's run down this just for laps anyway. All right. Game one is tomorrow. Game one is tomorrow. Game two is Tuesday. Game four is April 24th. Game four is April 26th. 5, 6, and 7 necessary on April 28th, May 1st, and May 3rd. Uh, all right, let's be honest here. Do the Grizzlies have a chance against the Thunder at all? And with John Morant's injuries, I don't think it's going to even matter much at all. I mean, he's been hit with ankle injuries and whatnot, so I really don't think much of a chance that the Grizzlies are going to have much of a chance. I'm going to say the Thunder in a sweep. Mike, how about you, Diane? All right. Okay, good. Yeah, I don't see that much of a chance. In fact, if we back it up a bit, yeah, because like I said, Lord has been cleared, but with all his injuries and actually with the blood clot, even if he does get back, I think it's gonna be a little bit late for that. So I really don't see him. Well, that's the Bucks are, but the Grizzlies, look banged up anyway. So I really don't see how that's gonna help. Yeah. All right. So moving on to the next series. Rockets Warriors. Yeah, if the trade hadn't took place, um, I think it'd be a much better series. The Warriors have really gone downhill since, of course, with their recent trades. So let's go here. Uh, Series starts tomorrow, late game, 9:30. Then we have April 23rd, April 26th, April 28th, 5, 6, and 7 on April 30th, May 2nd, May 4th, if needed. I don't know, with the trade that they made and Luca now with the Lakers, I don't really see too much of a chance here. Rockets still look a little bit, weak, little bit beginning towards the end of the season, but I think now in postseason play they're going to be just fine. I'm going to take the Rockets in 6. Mike, how about you, Diane? Okay. Curry Warriors outlast the Grizzlies in the play-in thrower to clinch a playoff spot, of course. Okay. This looks interesting though. Here, this might be an interesting series in the West. Lakers at Minnesota. I like this. All right, so it starts tonight. Then on Tuesday, Game 2. On Friday, Game 3. April 27th, that's Game 4. Then 5, 6, and 7 necessary on May 30th, April 30th, May 2nd, and May 4th. I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit. Uh, criticism of Dallas, but he didn't want to take it back. The Lakers did sign Rob Pelinka to an extension as president and general manager. Oh, okay, nice. This looks to be an interesting series here. This can go either way. I'm gonna take the Lakers in 6. Mike and Diane. Wow. Okay. Okay. So moving on. Yeah. Next series. Nuggets Clippers. This had identical records. This should be a fairly even series. Of course, with their firing of the coach, that was pretty stupid because they had no reason really to fire him. So let's go with this series here. Okay, game 1 is today at 3. Yeah, that's right now. Game 2 is Monday. Game 3 will be on Thursday. Game 4 is April 26th. Game 5, April 29th, if necessary. Then game 6 and 7, if needed, on May 1st and May 3rd. This looks like to be the interesting series. They both have the same identical records. They both know each other pretty well. So I'm looking at this to go with a full 7 series, even if today's score might be, a little bit lopsided. This is very interesting series. I don't see anybody taking like any commanding leads in the games, whatnot, very tightly contested and whatnot. So I'm gonna give it the full distance of 7 games. Mike, Diane, yeah, I'm gonna say Nuggets in 7 too. What's doing here? Okay, moving on. And all right, that's it. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens with these series. And next week we'll run down whatever game is left in this series. Okay. So that takes care of the NBA. Now we'll go to the NHL. Yes. All right, let me back it up here because I have some interesting. Oh, one more thing. In the wake of the loss to the Mavericks last night, the Sacramento Kings fired general manager Monte McNair and mutually parted ways, according to reports. The Kings fired head coach Mike Brown December 27th after a 13-18 start. The Kings went on to a respectable 27-24 record under coach Doug Christie and assistant on Brown's staff, but lost at home to the Mavericks in a home playoff game on Wednesday night. McNair headed the Kings front office for 5 seasons and named Executive of the Year in 2023 as the Kings ended their 16-year playoff drought and was named Coach of the Year. Well, why not? McNair's exit completes a house cleaning of a franchise that looked to be on the upswing just 2 years ago. The Kings took a 2-0 series lead in the first round of a 2023 playoffs before collapsing as Stephen Curry scored 50 points in decisive Game 7. The Kings went on to a 46-36 record last season and beat the Warriors, but lost to the Pelicans and missed the rest of the playoffs. The Kings fired Brown and also traded point guard De'Aaron Fox for the Spurs for Zach LaVine. Neither move was enough to keep the Kings from missing the postseason. All right. Anthony Davis scored 27 points for the Mavericks, survived the trip to Sacramento in the play-in tournament, giving general manager Nico Harrison a light reprieve and hopes things will work out in the end. The Mavericks outscored the Kings 44-19 in the fourth quarter, an 18-point lead, 18-point advantage, heading into the final quarter in what is mostly called a stress-free game. Considering how odd and tiring his life has gotten for Anthony Davis and many others since the blockbuster trade that sent Luka, trade of Luka, and other rumors, this was a very sweet victory. That was that. And the Mavericks did face the Grizzlies, and we know how that turned out, as the Grizzlies won. All right, and as I said, the Miami Heat, number 10 seed, and they're in the regular playoffs. On to hockey now. Well, now with the regular season over, for the Pens, defenseman Chris Letang's season ended a little bit early. He missed the season finale against the Capitals after undergoing a procedure to remove a small hole in his heart. Yeah. Coach Mike Sullivan called it a medical appointment. Of course. This was not the first time Letang had missed due to a heart procedure. Not at all. In fact, Letang missed time earlier in his career because of strokes related to a hole in his heart. He is a 3-time Stanley Cup champion. Recovery time for Letang is about 4 to 6 weeks. The Pens were eliminated from playoff contention earlier this month. In 74 games this season, Letang had 9 goals with 21 assists, his lowest total since 2010 when he was a rookie. Pittsburgh had gone nowhere. All right. Well, we have a lot of teams that, of course, are in the playoffs. But let me tell you something. This has been a big surprise, I think, for a lot of hockey fans, as 4 of the original 6 teams, with 4 of them which are American, the Rangers, the Bruins, the Blackhawks, and the Red Wings, did not make it. This was the first time in 83 years that none of the big 4 American teams made the postseason. Can you imagine that? Toronto, Montreal, the other 2, of course, they're in. But that kind of tells me something about, what's going to happen with these playoffs. I mean, it's not going to be, I don't think, very interesting with them this year. And I don't see a lot of people maybe tuning in these games because this was a big letdown for the Rangers most of all. I think they're the most disappointing team of the year, to be honest. After winning, getting to the Stanley Cup Eastern Finals last year and having a season like this, doesn't look like a very attractive postseason, I don't think, to be honest with any of you. So this doesn't sound very appetizing. I mean, yeah, I'll tune to see the Devils here and there, but this is a very big disappointment, I think, for a lot of hockey fans, especially ones who follow, the big 4. And who knows what Toronto and Montreal do. But Montreal looks like to have a pretty good chance. Calgary Flames will not be in as well. The Flames hopes were dashed early in the week when the Blues beat Utah The announcement was made in between the second and third period of Wednesday's game, and the Flames were playing against the Golden Knights. Earlier, Minnesota took the last wildcard spot after forcing overtime in the 5 minute of regulation against the Anaheim Ducks. Well, it could be Yucks too. The Flames season was highlighted by newcomer Dustin Wolf, who was up for Rookie of the Year consideration. Other young players that made an impact were Connor Zary and Matt Coronado. He made an impact though, but it wasn't enough. Give them time, the rookies. They'll get better. I just don't know where Mike is. I mean, not Mike. Steve. Hang on. You guys still with me? Oh, good. Okay, good. All right, good. All right, so now I'll move on. Well, at least I get my topics in quick. Yes, and the Dallas Stars activated Tyler Seguin from the long-term injured list reserve. That was ahead of the season finale against the Predators. Seguin underwent hip surgery on December 5th and has not played since I think January 1st. It was a game time decision against the Predators. The Stars will face the Avalanche in the first round of the playoffs, which are getting underway. Seguin had 9 goals, 11 assists, and 19 games before his injury. The 6-time All-Star has 360 goals and 480 assists in 980 games with the Bruins and Stars. And he's in the 6th year of an 8-year deal at 70 with the Stars at $78.8 million. All right, and one more note here: the Phoenix Suns once again are going to be looking for a new coach, as they haven't been able to do anything in the last 4 years. The Suns dismissed coach Mike Bullenhoser after one season on Monday. A person with the knowledge of the move confirmed to USAA Sports on the condition of anonymity because he was not authorized to speak publicly until the decision was announced. Budenholzer is the third coach in as many seasons after they fired Monty Williams in 2022 and 23, and Frank Vogel at the end of last season, who also coached the Lakers at one time, and was expected to take a roster that featured Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker, and make the Suns a competitive team in the Western Conference. Unfortunately, that did not happen. The Suns, despite having the highest payroll in the league, only finished at 36 and 46 this season and missed the playoffs, which just goes to show you that your payroll means nothing. It doesn't matter if you're the first or second highest payroll. If you're not producing the numbers and getting the victories, that doesn't mean anything whatsoever. So forget all this nonsense like, oh, we got the highest payroll. They expect you to win, but it doesn't always turn out that way. Everybody thinks, oh, well, they got the highest payroll, they can get the players whoever they want and whatnot. It doesn't always work. And that's a prime example right there. They lost 9 of their last 10, including the last 8 in a row when they were still in the hunt for the playoffs just 2 weeks ago. And all of a sudden, gone. Just awful. Hold on, let's just see if this is a Roger. Hey, Raj. All right, thank you. Okay, at least I got a local. At least I got the local Easter, but thank you. We'll get to Easter. We will get to those Easter wishes later. Yeah, well, we will get to Easter wishes closer to the end of the show. But thank you. I don't want to forget everybody about that because it is a sacred holiday. All right. So now we'll go into the NHL as the playoffs are now underway. All right. So here's how the matchups look. Away we go. So the playoffs will start today. First round in the Atlantic Division, we have the battle of the Canadian teams, the Maple Leafs and the Senators. The Maple Leafs are first in the Atlantic and the Senators was the wild card. Uh, it's not really a big difference in wins when you really think about it. And points, only 11 points separate these two teams, so it's fairly even. I mean, this was a competitive conference. So let's look at the schedule here. And Mitch Maynard led with 27 goals and 75 assists, while Tim Suzel of the Senators had 24 goals and 55 assists. This is not a matchup as easy as it sounds, guys. Let me tell you. So here we go. Game one begins tomorrow. Game two will be on Tuesday. On Thursday, then April 26th. Games 5, 6, and 7 if necessary. This looks like a tough series, to be honest with you. But I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with the maple syrup. I mean the Maple Leafs. All right, Mike. Uh I didn't get. I'm going 7 in this one. You're gonna go for a sweep. Yeah. All right, Diane. How many? 5. Roger. Yeah, I'm gonna say we're losing 6. Like I said, this is not gonna be an easy series. All right. Also a competitive series here. The Lightning, which were number 2 in the Atlantic, and number 3, the Panthers in the Atlantic. This should be a fairly even matchup here. And very even. Lightning have 47 wins and 102 points. The Panthers have 47 wins, also at 98 points. But the Lightning have more shootout losses. They have 8, and the Panthers more shootout wins, I should say, and the Panthers have more less shootout wins. But it's only 4-point difference. So hey, this is not going to be the recent matchup. Kucherov had 37 goals and 84 assists for the Lightning, while Sam Reinhart, oh boy, for the Panthers had 39 goals and 42 assists. This is going to be nip and tuck all the way. Let me tell you right now. All right, game is one. Okay, game one starts on. Oh, this doesn't start till Tuesday. Okay, I wonder if the series is going to go so late. Then April 24th. Then April 26th, game 4 will be. Well, we don't know what the date is. They don't have that scheduled at this point. All right. Games 4 through, and then games 5 through 7 if necessary. And the consensus pick is the Tampa Bay Lightning. Yeah, this is a tough one here. I'm gonna hold my prediction like from everybody else. Mike. Okay, Diane. Roger. You do realize, of course, that the Panthers are the defending Stanley Cup champions, right? Yeah. So I think, yeah, Florida. I think it's gonna be a tough series. I'm gonna say Florida. I'm gonna go 7 games. This is not gonna be easy though. This series is going to be, a very hard fought series. They're both pretty much even, and I expected to carry that all the way through this round. So get ready for a dogfight. Well, it better be one. Just give me a second here. Okay. Oh, think I gotta do something here for a minute. Yeah, I do. Just give me a second here, guys, and just gotta take care of something here. But stay here. All right. Okay. Yeah, I lost that note, but I can get it back. This is easy. Yeah. So, any thoughts though of the original 4 not making it though to the playoffs? I'm speaking of the American teams though. Any thoughts on that? Four of the original six, especially after one season of making the conference finals too. That makes it even worse. Okay, moving on. Metro. Now wait, now this series, despite the fact that it's the top in the conference against the wildcard team, I don't think this is going to be an easy series either. Capitals versus the Canadiens. Yes, of course, the Capitals have had a tremendous season, finishing first in the Eastern Conference, just losing on the President's Trophy, and of course Ovechkin having the season of his life after also breaking Wayne Gretzky's record. But Montreal, is no slouch either. They can I think, play a spoiler here. So it's the Capitals had 111 points with 51 wins. The Canadiens had 40 wins and 11 shootout losses and 31 losses regularly, 91 points. Dylan Strom had 29 goals and 53 assists. Nick Suzuki, 30 goals and 59 assists. Not bad, not bad. So the schedule reads like this. They'll begin Monday. Then game 2 will be on Wednesday. Game 5 is on Friday. Game 4 is a week from now. Games 5, 6, and 7 if necessary. And the consensus pick, the Capitals. I'm not surprised with that at all. Of course, there are overwhelming reasons. But I think this would be a better series than what most people think. So, okay, Mike, who do you have in this series? Okay, Diane, Roger. I'll say Capitals in 6, but still going to be a very close series. I don't see this being easy, even though and remember, I have seen teams in the playoffs before where they have gone, how they've reached the regular season, but when it comes to the playoffs, they just choke. So don't be surprised by this whatsoever. I've seen it happen before. All right, and last but not least in this part, Hurricanes versus the Devils. All right, and also fairly even contest, fairly even series here. The Hurricanes 47 wins and 99 points. The Devils have 42 wins and 91 points. Leading scorers were Sebastian Aho, 29 goals and 45 assists for the Hurricanes. Jesper Bratt with 2 T's, 21 goals and 67 assists. So here we go. Game 1 tomorrow. All these games are on cable too. Anything like that. Devils and Hurricanes tomorrow. Game 2 is Tuesday. Game 3 is Friday. You taking 3 days off? Okay. Game 7 is a week from now. Well, it's just a week from tomorrow. Games 5, 6, and 7 are, well, if necessary. And the consensus pick is the Hurricanes, but I'm not so sure about this. No, I think I can smell an upset here. The Devils are coming strong, especially although they have faltered late in the season. But I don't know. I think the Devils got a few surprises up their hand here. So I'm not so sure that it's gonna be a runaway actually for the Hurricanes. Because we're fairly even against them. So and since we're all Devils fans here, who should I go first? Yeah, I'll go up Mike first. Okay, Diane. All right, Roger. Devils in 7 it is. But I do see this as the upset here. I'm not just saying that because of the home that they're New Jersey team. Okay, so let's get that straight. All right. Winnipeg Jets, who won the President's Trophy just barely, will take on the St. Louis Blues. I know a few people who hate that. They hate that team very much. Uh, yeah, this should be a fairly easy series, though. I mean, the Jets look dominant all year. I wish the New York Jets were. Oh, but I don't really see it as a close series at all. Jets have 56 wins, 116 points. The Blues 96 points and 44 wins, though it is respectable. But I don't see this for a contest at all. Kyle Connor has 41 goals and 56 assists for the Jets. Robert Thomas for the Blues, 21 goals and 60 assists. And by overwhelming majority, that goes to the Jets, of course. The Blues are taking the Jets tonight at 6 o'clock. Then on Tuesday, they'll play game 2. Game 3 will be on Thursday on the 24th. Then on the 27th, game 4. Games 5, 6, and 7 to be announced. Yeah, this I don't think it's much of a contest at all. But we'll do our predictions anyway. Mike, what do you got in this series? Really? Diane. Mike? Roger? I'm saying sweep. I don't see anything with I don't see the Blues holding much of a fight here. I mean, I could be wrong, of course, but I'm not giving them much of a chance. Yeah. I mean, the Blues are going to the only help they can get, and if they don't, they're going to be feeling blue. Yeah. I don't mind that just birds in the background on this location. Yeah. Right. Once again, we're coming to you from the Golden Nugget in Lansing, New Jersey, so excuse the birds in the background here. Okay. Next series. Hmm. Yeah, this one looks like a tough series here very tough season here. Dallas Stars, Colorado Avalanche. This one should be a doozy. I mean, there's only 4 points separate them from the standings. The Stars have 50 wins, the Avalanche 49. Matt Duchene, 30 goals and 52 assists. Nate McKinnon, 32 goals and 84 assists. This is going to be a battle. All right, so game 1 begins tonight, 8:30. Game 2 is on April 21st. That's Monday. Then on Wednesday, they'll have game 3. On Saturday, they'll have game 4. Games 5, 6, and 7 to be announced. Oh boy, this is gonna be a tough one. I mean, the overwhelming consensus are taking the Avalanche, but I don't know. I think this could be wrong this time. I mean, this series, looks like another different tuck battle. I don't see anybody, any lopsided victories. This is gonna be very tightly contested and whatnot. So, Mike, what do you got here? Really, Roger? Roger. Okay, Diane. Yeesh. Does anybody have a coin they can flip? Ooh. I'm gonna say yeah, McKinnon. If he's on his game, yeah. All right, Avalanche in 7. All right. All right, another a fairly easy series here. Golden Knights versus Minnesota Wild. Golden Knights have 50 wins, 110 points. The Wild, 45 wins with 97 points. Leading scorers: Jack Eschel, 28 goals and 66 assists. Matt Boldy, 27 goals and 46 assists. Game 1 is tomorrow. It's a late game. These are very late games here. Game 1 is tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Game 2 is Tuesday at 11 o'clock. What are you, nuts? Game 3 is April 24th. Game 4 is on the 26th. Game 5, 6, and 7 to be announced. And the consensus pick is the Golden Knights. Mike? All right. Diane? Roger? Yeah, I'll take that. Golden Knights in 5. Yeah, yeah. And finally, our last series the Kings versus the Oilers. Again, another fairly tight series. Knights had 48 wins and 105 points. Oilers, 48 wins, but have more shootout wins. And the Oilers have 48 wins and five shootout wins, 101 points. Oof. Adrian Kempe, 35 goals and 38 assists. Leon Draisaitl, 52 goals and 54 assists. And remember, the Oilers were the runner-up in the Stanley Cup Finals last season, thanks to performances by Draisaitl and, of course, Wonder Boy Connor McDavid, as we all know, who came alive in the playoffs, especially in games 4, 5, and 6 in the Stanley Cup Final. Oh boy, did they ever! All right, late games again in this series. Oilers take on the Kings Monday. Then game 2 is Wednesday. Game 3 Friday. All games at 10 o'clock. Ugh, yeah. Game 4 is the 27th. Games 5, 6, and 7 to be announced. I think this does have the potential to go to all 7 games. This is going to be another battle. If I do say so. And then, of course, next week we'll check on the remaining of that series. All right. So I want to turn everybody's attention now to the WNBA draft that happened over the this past week. And some of you might have been surprised by some of these picks. Some of you may not. We'll try and go through as many as we can here. I do want to take the first top 10. All right. So let's see how we agree with this. Now, of course, number 1 was obvious. Paige Buckers, who graduated, of course, from UConn, had to take another 5th year because of her injury, so she came back as a 5th-year player. And she has been selected by the Dallas Wings, which had the worst record in the whole league last year, so it was obvious. And let's see what they can do. Number 2 is a player from France named Dominique Magnolia. She goes to the Seattle Storm by way of the Los Angeles Sparks. Now, of course, I know I'd never heard of this person. Well, we don't know much about her since she plays in the European areas. And of course, European plays a different style of basketball than we do. So it's going to be kind of tough to see how she's going to turn out, especially in her first year. She's got to get used to the flow of playing American style basketball. So I don't really know how much she's going to make an impact on that, especially with the Seattle Storm. All right, the Washington Mystics take Sonia Criton of Notre Dame, and she joins Minx by way of Chicago. I see her play. She's I think fairly decent. I think she's going to do well for Chicago, even though they haven't done well. Washington Mystics will take Kiki Eifrin from USC. Another European player goes to the first time for the Golden State Valkyries. They're the new team in the WNBA this year. And her name is Justy, I think it's Josette. We'll have to see how she does. We don't know too much how they play because, of course, we don't get a chance to see the European players play. So it's kind of hard to make a call on how well they're going to adapt. But of course, a lot of people say about the Greek Freak as well. It's kind of hard to make the transition from European leagues and other leagues in foreign countries to here because they gotta get used to the style of play. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. This is not. Yeah. So, but I think we got some pretty obvious choices so far. And the Valkyries, well, I wish them well their first year, but I think we not much know how first year players can be. Well, I should say first teams can play. Nobody expects them to do much, but they can surprise you, as well. I mean, they could be a surprise team this year, but I don't expect too much. But I've been wrong before, so Greg, how are you? All right, we're going over WNBA picks. Yeah, but if you want to bring anything up, we got to bring in the Masters. We got to bring in the Masters from last week. That was going to be the golf tournament of the ages. Wow, it was. Yeah, but to think how but to think how McElroy missed an easy punt, he could have won regulation. I mean, that was like an easy punt the 18th, and it could have wrapped it right there. But he missed. I'm like, okay, is he cursed to win this Masters? Is he ever going to win it? Yeah, no, yeah, yes. Yeah. Yeah, I do. I think, especially in the last round. Yeah. It always does. It always does. Very optical. Yeah. Yes. No. He does. Yeah. It was. Yeah. No, you can't. Neck and neck all the way through. You know. Nice. But yes. Yeah. So on the eight, so when they replayed the 18th, uh, McElroy's approach shot rolled back toward the hole and inside the ball of Rose. After Rose missed a birdie attempt and missed the par, Mac made sure he would not miss another opportunity to clinch the victory, as it has escaped him so many times before. He recovered from a disastrous stretch on the back nine to birdie on the hole for a brief one-stroke lead. McElroy's bogey on the 11th and double bogey on the 14th, and then on the 15th set him on track for another collapse at a major. But Mac recovered for birdie on par five in the 15th hole. Then he struck his approach on the 17th to take the lead. This was McElroy's fifth major championship and his first since the PGA Championship back in 2014. Rose was seeking his first Masters, had 6 birdies and 2 bogeys across the last 8 holes, finishing with a 20-foot putt. And chances are, if you have 6 birdies and 2 bogeys in that area, you're probably not going to win. But at least McIlroy has finally won the Masters and completes the Grand Slam of golf. It took him 11 years to win his last major. Oof. And now he's got them all. And that was, that, yeah. It's only the third round, though. But we'll check that. We'll check that right now. It's only the third round. But last check at the just give me a second here. Oh, wait, I can do this. On the PGA Tour in the Heritage Classic right now, Kim of I think it's of South Korea, is leading by 1 stroke. Just let me update this here. Yeah, Siwoo Kim, Siwoo Kim is in the lead right now over just over Justin Thomas by a stroke, 2 strokes. Siwoo Kim is his name. Yeah. Well, don't forget yeah. Well, don't forget he's from Japan. No, no, the next major with the PGA Championship. No, not really. No, the only ones they really care about really are the 4 majors. Well, 6 if you count uh the Memorial and the Players Championship and the Players Championship. That's considered, I think, a major as well. Yeah, they call it the fifth major. They call it the fifth major. I always thought that yes. Hmm. Yeah. Uh-huh. Neither do I. No. Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. So we're covering WMA draft right now. Greg, you have any thoughts so far on that? WMA draft. Yeah. All right. The women's team did better than the men's, that's for sure. Yes. Right. I'm not gonna mention that right now, but you know. But anyway, we're moving on to hey, of course we gotta do some other news first before anything else, since we have our well, one of those tragic stories of the week, which as a reporter, as much as I hate to bring bad news, I must do it. So this came from college football last week as former LSU receiver Kyron Lacy passed away back on April 12th in Houston, according to multiple reports, after hauling in 58 passes for 86 yards last season while leading the LSU Tigers with 9 receiving touchdowns. Lacy declared himself for the draft in December. He was arrested a month later after he was accused of causing a car accident that killed a 78-year-old man before he fled the scene. Lacy was charged with negligent homicide, a felony hit, and reckless drive operation of a vehicle. A grand jury was set to start hearing evidence last week, and Lacy was only 24 years old. Ugh, what a shame. Like I said, as a reporter, I always hate to bring bad news, but sometimes you have to. Turning to baseball now, Twins reinstate infielder Brooks Lee from a 10-day injured list back on Monday, on Sunday. Yes, Sunday. The eighth overall pick in 22 began the season on the injured list with a lumbar strain. He was 4-13 in 4 rehab games for Class A Fort Myers and AAA St. Paul. Not a very good record when you think about it. Downright ugly. He made his big league debut last season, batting 221 with 3 home runs and 27 RBIs in 50 games. He made 23 stops at shortstop, 10 at third base, and 7 at second base, and 2 as a DH. The Twins opted for infielder Jose Miranda to St. Paul in a corresponding move. Miranda is batting 167 with 1 home run and 5 RBIs in 12 games. All right, now here I think is a good story for the week. I think you're going to enjoy this one. I know I did. Let me hear what you think with this one, guys. The Phillies continued their early season play against downing the Cardinals 4-1 on Saturday afternoon. All the 31,000 fans in attendance were thrilled, but none more thrilled over the maddening experience for the rest of the crowd as a young fan did his best to get his team locked in from the start. Check out this one when right fielder Nick Castellanos relayed a fly ball near the seats down the right field line. As subsequent celebration, both he and the young fan shared. One guy went in for the high five fist pump. One gets the feeling in the pre-pitch clock era. Both have been perfectly willing to work out their secret handshake before Castellanos walked back to the field. The Phillies outfielder spoke about the moment during the post game, said the mission was accomplished, and the fired upness was achieved. It's always nice when fans can get involved into it. It makes the game more fun. So that's a good moment right there. We got a call from the DC area. I think I might know who this is, but for the record, would you say your name anyway? Are you all right, Steve? Well, better late than never. So, all right. So, Steve, actually, going over the WNBA draft. We did the first few picks. Anything that surprised you so far? Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. So I did the. Okay. So now we're down to number 60 on Dream Team. T. Hina Pablo from South Carolina. Indiana Fever by way of Phoenix. Malika Timpson of Florida State. Indiana Fever Bree Hall goes to for South Carolina. Also, oh yeah, they have Thompson as well. Number 9, the Sparks from Seattle pick Sienna Fegan from South Carolina. Heard of that. Chicago, by way of the Aces, take Archia Kobali from Texas A&M. That sounds familiar. Washington Mystics, by way of Connecticut, take Lucy Olson out of Iowa. Minnesota Lynx, aka the Missing Lynx, Delia Daniels from Washington. Connecticut, by way of New York, Rhea Marshall from USC. That's the first round. I'll try to do as much as I can here, guys. No, wait. Before I do, Steve, you got anything to report from WrestleMania? Do it. Do it. Yes. Yeah. Uh-huh. I'm sure you are. Any other things looking forward to? Like the matchups? Okay. Yeah. NFL draft is next week. Mhm. Oh, there will be for sure. We're gonna cover that in next week's show. I hope so. Yeah. So, any other matchups you're looking forward to, or no? Yes, of course. Right. It is. It is. But Steve, we did some basketball earlier. Who are you looking forward to in some of these series? Mm, yeah. Hmm. Yeah. I said this game was getting competitive, guys, and I'm right. So far, Clippers are up by 3 as Denver as they lead 67-64, 5:38 to go in the third quarter. I knew this game was going to be good, and I was right. This is going to be a tough series. All right, so the Mystics take on Zay Green from Alabama. Indiana Fever take Yvonne Ejim from Gonzaga. Seattle Storm take Jordan Hobbs from Michigan. And Vacant A's take Harmony Turner from Harvard. Don't mention Yale. Oops. Atlanta Dream, by way of Connecticut, take on Taylor Theory from the Ohio State. I can't believe I just did that. Minnesota Lynx take Aubrey Griffin from UConn. And the New York Liberty take Adia Kane from France. Of course, we don't really know much about her since she plays in the European League. Before I do anything else, Diane, your trivia. Where's Haley Van Lith again? Okay. Repeat that again. Okay. Iron. Iron. Wedges. Wed- wedges. Oh, okay. Driver. Wood. Oh, wood. Like Tiger Wood. Hmm, okay. Bad joke. I don't think it makes a difference at all. Hot dry conditions. Hot dry conditions. That's what I thought. Which also explains why I fly. Which also explains why I get more balls out of the ballpark during baseball season, of course. Okay, I think it was 1894. 1894. 1894. Uh, yeah. All right. Second round. Aces by way of the Sparks take on Aaliyah Nye from Alabama. Oh, no, it'll be late for a basketball game here. Dallas Wings take Madison Scott from Ole Miss. Minnesota Lynx by Chicago take on Astia Kasu of Russia. Chicago Sky by way of Washington take Maddie Westbeld from Notre Dame. Valkyries take on select Shea Sellers from Maryland. Steve, are you familiar with that one? Shane Sellers. That's what I thought. Uh oh, I think I'm on the. Pardon me for a minute. I gotta take something back here for a minute. Washington takes. All right, I got to something over again. All right. So starting with number 6 in the first round, Mystics take by way of Atlanta, Georgia Amore from Kentucky. There we go. Connecticut take on from New York, Ashina Morrow from LSU. Good player. Connecticut by way of Indiana take on get Sienna Rivers of North Carolina State. The Sparks via Seattle take on Sarah Ashley Baker from Alabama. Chicago Sky by way of Connecticut take on Aishea Sivka from France. Chicago Sky by way of the Lynx take on Haley Lith Van Lith from TCU. Good player. Good player. Dallas Wings by way of the Liberty take on Isaiah James from NC State. Okay, that's better. Now we can do the second round. There we go. All right. Aces take from Los Angeles. He had Nye from Alabama. Wings, Madison Scott. I'll jump down now here to number 7. No, I'll take on actually number 12. Minnesota Lynx. Delete Dance from Washington and Connecticut take on Ray Marshall of USC. Okay, round 3. Oh, we can do all this. All right. Seattle Storm from by way of Los Angeles take on Saria Sundell of Kansas State. Dallas Wings take on JJ Quinterly from West Virginia. LA Sparks by way of Chicago take on Matthew King from Notre Dame. Seattle Storm by way of Washington take on Madison Corner from TCU, excuse me. Valkyries select Caitlin Chen from UConn, another Caitlin. Okay. Dallas Stars by way of Atlanta take select Antoinette Valich from Baylor. Washington Mystics by way of Phoenix take on Zay Grain from Alabama. Fever take Yvonne Ellen from Gonzaga. Seattle Storm taking on Jordan Haas from Michigan. I'm redoing these because I messed up a little bit, but that's okay. Vegas Ace take on Hermione Turner from Harvard. Jordan Hobbs goes to Seattle from Michigan. Atlanta Dream take on Taylor Theater from Ohio State. Minnesota Lynx take on Aubrey Griffin from UConn. And the Liberty take on Adia Kane from France. Just let's see if I didn't miss anything. Did I get everything? Did I get everything? Isaiah James. Yeah, got them all. Oh, great. Wow. I didn't think I was able to do that way. Well, we only have 36 picks, but we have instead of 272 picks like the NFL. I think you can get this done a lot quicker, right? Right. Okay, so we got that done. Okay, let's go to some UFL action here. Okay, so last night we had the Memphis Showboats against the Michigan Panthers. I took Michigan. Did anybody else take Michigan over Memphis? Steve? All right, Diane? Roger? All right. And Greg disappeared. So, okay. So let's go to today's games. Yes, you did. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Am I getting? I thought I had you. Sorry about that. I don't do it. I don't do this intentionally, folks. I don't. I don't miss people intentionally. All right. So moving on. Right. Uh, hang on a second while I clear this. Oh. All right. So UFL. More UFL here. Okay. There we go. It's always on the back list, people. All right. So we also had Arlington beat St. Louis today, 30-15. Uh, I was gonna take Arlington. How about you, Mike? Diane? Steve? Roger? I would have taken Arlington myself. All right. 7 o'clock on Fox. Birmingham, Houston. Steve? Roger? Mike? Diane? Birmingham it is. All right. Tomorrow for your Easter dinner, San Antonio, DC. Oh, Steve, just for laughs, we got, of course, Diane, Mike, Roger. Thank you, unanimous. For the record, by the way, DC is 3-0, and San Antonio is in the opposite direction of 0-3. Oh, and if anybody actually is a fan of this league, I have some good news. I just say a bunch of money for switching to Geico. No, there has been an agreement reached. I had to do that. There is an agreement that has been reached for a new CBA after months of talks and whatnot, because there was a possibility of going on strike, and that would have killed the league. So the Player Association has ratified a new CBA with the UFL, ending nearly 6 months of yakking and getting nowhere, according to union officials. The deal, which of course is pending final approval from the league, is retroactive to the start of training camp, which opened on March 2nd and will extend through the end of the 2026 season. Not a lot of time, but at least you get 2 full seasons in. End of next year. Boy, that's kind of close. The new CBA will include an annual rate of $7,005 on the player's minimum salary, from 55,000 to 62,005 and change for players who participate in all 10 regular season games, and makes all players eligible for year-round health care, according to a fact sheet produced by the United Football Players Association. The minimum salary for 2026 will be $64,000. Huh. Talk about cheap. The UFL did not immediately comment on the agreement. What a shock. So labor certainty should be led to more continually among the player pool. Michigan Panthers quarterback Danny Elling said, "It's good not for the league invest. It's good not only for the league investors, but just for the league in general to give some stability," said Ewing. So then we are so that we are not in negotiation next year trying to do the same thing, having to go through the season, but just to have the players having the ability to have consistency there for players playing with their families and trying to get the guys to return for multiple seasons. Players began voicing their concerns about the direction of talks before camp when 24 quarterbacks signed a letter that expressed their disappointment and announced they would skip the league organized quarterback camp in February. Some players felt threatened during the first week of training camp when the coaches informed that they could be released if they did not fall through on discussions or boycott the league's media days. These three players confirmed to ESPN last month. In other words, they could have sent him a Dear John letter saying, "Dear John, I can't compete with this at this time." No, you get the idea, though. Yes. So the league clarified that there will be disciplinary action if no but if no jobs lost, a boycott occurred, and all requested players made appearances. But former Memphis Showboats quarterback Quentin Dornley was released a day later, and he told ESPN that he believed this leadership role in the union was a driving factor. In response, the league said in part that any player transactions that are purely a result of football decisions at the team level and have nothing to do with the collective arguing disagreement. The collective bargaining negotiations. Because, like I said, guys, before you come to agreement, you got to do a lot of arguing back and forth constantly. So I call it a CAD, a collective arguing disagreement, before anything else happens. Get the point? Yeah. So I know that a lot of people don't follow this, like the NFL does, but I think it's good news for the league, and at least they got 2 more seasons out of it, so we don't have to worry them folding, anytime soon. Any thoughts on save the UFL's behind by any chance? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, they did somewhat. Ah, okay, okay. I like that. Yeah. I like the fact though that they're doing games like on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights. I like that. Whoever said Friday, whoever said Friday football is not a good idea. Well, whoever said Friday football is not a good idea, I think twice about that. I would. Yeah, yeah, I know. I'm just finding it hard to believe that ABC is not going to have the first round of any NHL playoff coverage. Can I get that stupid from anybody, please? Can I get all that stupid? On the count of three. One, two, three. You guys call yourself a chorus? Jeez. Okay. Yeah. Tell us my Greek chorus. Chorus. No. Yeah. It's an old joke. Yeah. Let me ask my Greek chorus. All right. Did I miss that thing again? Oh boy. Oh, I got back. All right. So I'm glad for the UFL. I mean, hey, it all right. It may not be top notch quality football, but hey, we still got, and at least it's going to survive another year, 2 years, I should say. Whether any games we televise for that, that's another story. Okay, another interesting story here from the world of football. You're gonna love this. How many of you guys remember Terry Bradshaw? If you're as old as Steve and I are, and Roger, thank you. Oh yeah, All right. Well, the former quarterback reportedly came to the rescue on a flight. Listen to this. Bradshaw allegedly helped save passengers after a door was jammed on the runway, according to a reporter from KDKA in Pittsburgh, Ricky Sayer. Sayer spoke to someone on the plane who said Bradshaw helped open the door, allowing passengers to exit the plane before being stuck on the runway for a half hour. Yeesh. Stuck on the runway for a half hour. Who would like that? Yeah. Bradshaw is sitting in the front row where Bob Uecker used to sit. Oh, boy. According to reports on the flight, on his way to Pittsburgh to attend a roast, former teammate Mel Blount. The roast was scheduled for yesterday. They were teammates on the Steelers back then. Passengers sat on the runway for over half. Well, hold on. Passengers sat on the runway for over a half hour before the door opened. The pilot did not announce Bradshaw's name, but the passengers knew what happened. Bradshaw, of course, a Steelers legend, winning 4 Super Bowl titles in 6 years, won the MVP in 1978, and was elected to the Hall of Fame after his career ended. And is considered one of the best, if not the best, Steelers teams of all time. Got to be. These days, Bradshaw works for the NFL football pregame on Fox and has done so for the past 31 years. Also done some acting as well. Not very good, but he's done some acting. But that's a story for another time. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I got another one for you, Steve. I got another one for you. The Commanders welcome back an old friend of yours. According to the Commanders, they're signing quarterback Josh Johnson for a 1 year deal. Johnson was on the Commanders in 2018 and made 3 starts that year. He spent last season with the crosstown rival Ravens, backing up Lamar Jackson, and made 3 starts. He appeared in 6 games and playing 36 offensive snaps. Since entering the league way back in 2008, when we were still young, as a fifth-round pick, Johnson has spent time with nearly half of the league's teams. He also played in the original XFL and the dreaded AAF, which didn't even last a full season. Ugh, yuck. He slots as the Commanders' third string quarterback behind Rookie of the Years Jaden Daniels and Marcus Mariota, who agreed to return to the Commanders last month on a 1 year deal. Johnson has appeared in 45 games with 9 starts, completing 58% of his passes for 2,297 yards and 13 touchdowns and 16 interceptions. And this game is still hot, 75-72 Clippers over the Nuggets right now. Serves you right, though, for firing your coach for no reason at all. Please. Yeah. All right. Well, as good as the Angels are doing this season, well, they got some news that no team wants to hear, especially now. The Angels suffered a major loss on Friday, last Friday, I should say, when they placed one of their players, Joyce, on the 15-day injury list with inflammation in his throwing shoulder. Yeah. The move was acted to last Wednesday when Joyce decreased experienced decreased velocity in his fastball in a game against the Rays. There's no length of time, but we are going to back off and let him rest. And we'll know more. And we'll know more and continue as we go from here, said manager Ron Washington. Joyce was 1-0 with a lousy ERA of 6.23 and 5 appearances this season. Not a very good ERA even though you have a 1-0 record, but still that ERA's got to come down. So the Angels call up right-hander Michael Darnell Hicks from AAA Salt Lake to fill in the roster spot. And despite the fact that the Angels are doing fairly well this season, for once. Okay. Pretty much, I mean, they're not the Dodgers. Yeah, but you get well. I mean, they're crosstown rivals, Die. You know, Yeah. No, not real rivals, but yes. But I mean, the Angels were good at one time, but I don't know, ever since they won the World Series, they had not been that good of a team. Of course, that was a long time ago. All right, more baseball news. Orioles, yeah, 2002 though, man. That's a long time ago. Yeah, but they haven't been the same since. All right, so more baseball news. Okay. Orioles right-hander Garrison Rodriguez will had an MRI done on his throwing shoulder after a bullpen session that was canceled on Thursday due to rain. Rodriguez has not pitched in a regular season game since July 31st of last season, have been rehabbing from right elbow inflammation, though he did appear in the first week of spring training games. He woke up a few days ago with his shoulder feeling sore, said manager Brandon Hyde. I'm not really sure at this point. We are hoping for the best, but we felt his imaging was needed. Rodriguez was selected 11th in 2018, and he has a 28 record with a 4.11 ERA in the last two seasons. Coming off the second straight postseason, the Orioles have dealt with injuries to starting pitchers Kyle Bradish with Tommy John surgery, Tyler Wells, UCL, Albert Suarez, right shoulder, and Zach Eflin with a right lat injury. I said Zach Eflin, not Zach Efron. Yes, okay. Oh boy. Yeah. But it explains why the Orioles are slipping a bit this season because, they the last two seasons they were like hanging in the division and whatnot, and we're becoming the perennial losers that we've come to know. But as we look in the standings, yes, I know it's only mid-April, but you do start to break away from the pack a little bit right now. And if you're an Orioles fan, Steve, you might want to turn the other way, maybe. As right now, no, well, it's not good, but it's not terrible. As they're now 8-11 right now in the season. Only the Tampa Bay Rays are worse. And look who's in first. Oh, do I know someone's going to hate this? I'm not going to mention his name. And for somebody who lives in Detroit out there, he's happy. I know this because I am involved with them. Okay. And right now, Mets are up 2-0 over the Cardinals. So good news on Mike, right? You should be happy. And for you Yankee fans out there, the Yankees leading the Rays right now 6-4, 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth. All right. Yes. Hey, we're not in first place for nothing. All right. Moving forward. I don't know why I did that, but hey, I thought, well, since I was bringing up the Orioles, I thought, why not just do a little baseball right here? On to football. Trey Davius White is going back to where it all began. The NFL Network reported that the Bills have agreed to sign White for a one-year deal worth $6.8 gazillion. Well, 6.8 million in reality. White was the first round pick by the Bills in 2017 and played for the Bills from 2017 to 2023. I'm sure Diane remembers that very well. White departed last season, offseason, to join the Rams, but that didn't go so well on the left coast. White began the season top cornerback, but was benched after being a healthy scratch in week 5. White spent the next 4 games riding the pine before he was traded to the Ravens in November and was facing that cold November rain. No. Okay. In 93 games for the Bills, Rams, and Ravens, White had 333 tackles and 73 passes defended and 18 interceptions. He was voted second for Defensive Rookie of the Year for the Bills in 2017 and All Pro honors in 2019 and 2020. The Bills, though, had the ninth worst offense last season, giving up 226 yards per game. So that's something you got to work on. Yeah. Okay, moving along here. Hmm. Yeah, Roger, I did in the first hour, but if you have anything, bring it up. Yes, yes. 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 Okay. Okay. Even though this is a very contested game. Oh boy, 1 point lead for the Clippers right now. Oof. This is gonna be a tough series, guys. Can I tell you right now? I can tell you right now. All right. Just a second here. Before I do, why don't we take our Easter and Passover thoughts now? So, Steve, is there anybody you want to wish Happy Easter Passover to? Okay. All right. Mike, Diane. Oh, thank you. And Roger. Roger. All right. And happy Passover to Diane and Mike and Roger. Also to some of my other friends out there. Joanna. Uh, yes. Yes. And yes, and to my friend and to our friend Kayla. Happy Passover as well, and happy Easter to, of course, her husband Greg, my family and friends, which is too long to mention, but to especially to my immediate family and to my family here on the show, which has been a family now as we're now into our eighth season here. So it has developed into some kind of family unit here, and I thank you all for that. Wow, 8 years. Okay. Our University of Texas wide receiver Isaiah Bond was arrested on charge of sexual assault, according to the NFL Network on Thursday. This is our idiot of the week. The future draft prospect turned himself into Frisco police for an outstanding warrant. He had already been posted bond and was released. His Campbell's revealed in a statement calling the accusation completely false. I think I did it last week, but I was just updating on that. So there is another idiot for you. The White Sox have reinstated outfielder Andrew Benintendi from the 10-day injured list. Benintendi has not played since he suffered a left adductor strain. The former All-Star is batting 290 with 2 home runs and 6 RBIs in 9 games for the White Sox this season, and it looks like they're in for another horrible season so far. What else is new? Yeah, yeah. Now you guys get yeah. Name it. Yes. Right. Well, that's no surprise there, Steve. I mean, come on, that's not that was coming. I mean, we all knew that. Yeah. So the White Sox call up Edgar Quiro from AAA Charlotte and sent fellow catcher Omar Navarez for assignment. That means down to the minors. Outfielder Greg Jones was also optioned for Charlotte. Quiro has acquired was acquired in 2003 that sent pitchers Lucas Gelato and Ronaldo Lopez to the Angels. Is the 62nd ranked prospect in baseball according to Pipeline.com. The Reds have placed first baseman Christian Encarnacion on the 10-day injured list with low back inflammation. In a corresponding move, the Reds recalled third baseman Nobly Marte from AAA Louisville. He's batting 9 for 57 with 2 home runs, 1 walk, and 13 strikeouts in 15 games. Not very impressive so far. Ekronon Strand, I should say, only played 29 games last season due to right hand fractures and missed 2 games last weekend. He played Tuesday and was 0 for 4 in the 8-4 win over the Mariners, but was 1 for 4 in Wednesday's loss to the Mariners with a 2-run double. Strange. We've been talking to him all week, said manager Tony Francona, and tried to manage it. We got to a point where we were going to revisit after the game. It wasn't getting worse, but it wasn't getting better either. The more we talked to trainers and after what we thought last season seemed the right thing to do. Encarnacion Strand is a .230 hitter with 17 home runs and 55 RBIs in 107 games since making his debut in July of 2023. Marte is 1 for 6 in 3 games this season. He has played in 104 games since 2023 and batted .244 with 7 home runs and 33 RBIs. I told you to get this in baseball. Oh, here's a stupid file for the week. Yeah. MLB suspended Nationals reliever Jorge Lopez after 3 games for intentionally throwing at Pirates outfielder Andrew Metuchen in Wednesday's loss to the Pirates. Oh, boy. Lopez filed and appealed and was available for the Thursday's game of the series, which was the series finale. Lopez hit rounds to the Pirates in the 7th inning of Wednesday's loss, then threw a 92-mile-per-hour fastball that caused Metuchen to hit the deck and avoid getting hit in the head. Oh, boy. Metuchen took offense, and the benches emptied out. Lopez apologized after the game, saying that both pitchers got away from him and said that he was not trying to hurt anyone intentionally. Oh, really now? Were you? Yes, I think you were trying to hit intentionally because that's what players usually do when instances like that. It's kind of like the Marlins playing against the Braves. You get the idea. Because those two teams hate each other. Yeah. So that's our Hey Stupid File of the week. And if you're an Eagles fan, quarterback Jalen Hurts was named one of Time Magazine's 100 most influential people of 2025. I don't see how, but he is. The Super Bowl MVP got the Eagles to a 40-22 win over the Chiefs back in February, as we all know. The five-time champion and Hall of Famer, a 5-time World Series champ and Hall of Famer Derek Jeter wrote the introductory piece on Hurts for the publication. We connected shortly after the Super Bowl win, and the only thing he asked about in the insight was on going back and winning again, Jeter wrote. Sometimes you win and exhale, but Jalen is not exhaling. He's embracing the next challenge. How about that? Win or lose, Jalen's determination offers something for all of us to admire. He rushed for 221 yards and 2 touchdowns and rushed for a score of 72 yards in the Super Bowl rematch. The MVP runner-up in 2022, Hurts is 46-20 as a starter and has 140 touchdowns in 77 games. And that was it. So, yeah, he gets one most influential people of the year. Even though he won the Super Bowl. Well, okay. I think maybe want to pick somebody else more influential than that, but hey, I don't make the list. Okay. And one more interesting note here. The Rays and Red Sox game was delayed on Tuesday for a very unusual reason. For an unbearable ringing noise that was blaring through the speakers at Steinbrenner Field. With 2 outs in the bottom of the 2nd inning and the Red Sox up 3-1, Rays outfielder Jake Magnum stepped up to the plate, but instead of hearing his usual walk-up music, it sounded more like a version of nails on a chalkboard. Maybe 9-inch nails on a chalkboard. Who knows? Oh, boy. His facial expression said it all. You need to know about what it's like to hear this incredibly painful sound. There's a clip on video, but watching this video might at your own risk because the sound is extremely annoying and at the point of being just painful. So we got to watch that. As the ringing persisted for about 40 seconds, fans covered their ears in the stands. The personnel and George M. Steinbrenner Field finally got the horrible crowd, finally got the horrible sound, whatever it was, to stop, and was followed by loud cheers from the crowd. Oh boy. This was my ridiculous sign of the week because, frankly, this did sound rather ridiculous. And Tyron Smith signs a one-day contract to retire as a Dallas Cowboy after spending 14 seasons in the league, and 13 of them was with the Cowboys. His final season was with, well, the Jets. Need I say more? What happened to that? All right, guys. So just ready to wrap it up. I want to thank everyone for coming in. I kind of expected, this kind of a turnout because of Easter and Passover, of course. But wherever you are, I hope you're enjoying it. Next week, yeah, we're gonna go through the draft. Uh, Probably not through all 272 picks because that would take forever. But we'll do the best we can. Of course, we'll continue with the NHL and NBA playoffs. Yeah, I'll probably do a little recap of the Boston Marathon, which happens on Monday. I hope you, all you runners out there, the best of luck, and we'll take care of the best and worst of the month, which I think we've covered a few already. Oh boy, and all our other features as well. So next week, same time, same station. Rasal's coming up. I'm gonna jump on him in a few minutes. Um, yeah, I think he's doing today, so I'll just check it in. So we'll be back next week, and have a good weekend. Be safe out there, and well, it's been a little wet, so stay dry if you possibly can too. So on that note, good night. All right.